serotonin that I feel right now. I've got a coffee, I've got a chocolate croissant, I'm surrounded by books that you can't see that are all over my bed. I've got a candle lit, and outside, even though you can't see, it's like the perfect autumn day. And I've just realised the right word is actually dopamine, not serotonin. But hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is a video that I love, I'm gonna love filming, and I love watching. It is a book haul. So if anyone watched my last video where I built my bookshelf, it was a vlog, it was very chaotic, and I showed you that I got some books, but I didn't show you exactly what they were because I was saving it for this video. So I did a massive order, and I got 9 books, I think it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 books, and I got them for £30, which is literally unheard of. And if you haven't heard of this company before, I'm literally going to put you on it because my mum put me on it. World of Books. I'll put their logo, their website up here, and I'll also put it in the link below. So they are basically a company where you can buy pre-owned books. 99.9% of them come literally like brand new, like not even a speck on them. I got one book which is slightly worn, which you can tell that it's old. But if you're a book lover like me and you love to buy tons and tons of books, like I've got a whole bookcase that I need to fill at the moment. If you watch my video, you'll know. And obviously normally books are like £8.99, £9.99 per book, so normally you can never get full price books, this quantity of full price books, for £30. So I definitely recommend. And a lot of the times they have, or when I bought them, I think they had like buy 4 get 1 free, or buy 3 and get 1 free, which is so good because if you're someone like me and you like to buy books as a series, obviously normally there's like 3 or 4 books in a series anyway, so you get one of them free. So yeah, I'm going to show you what I got. I'm very excited about it. I'm probably going to have quite a few of these because if you watched my last video, I've got a whole shelf that needs filling, so I will be doing more book hauls, but this is what I've got so far. Okay, so the first books I got are part of a series. There's one missing just because I don't think they had this series on World of Books, but I will be buying separately. But it is Icebreaker and then also Daydream. So Icebreaker I've actually read before. I read this I think when it first came out, so I don't know how old this is. I think I read it maybe like a year or 2 ago. I can't remember when she put it out, but it's so cute. I'll show you it so you can see it properly. It's a sports romance, so it's hockey and then also a figure skater, and it's so good. I would say this falls under kind of new adult, very cute romance. I need to stop saying cute because in my last video, my first video, I kept saying cutesy, and I'm not gonna say it today, but it is a really nice romance. So it's sports romance. It's got like a little bit of drama in it, but the whole time it is just like a nice small town romance there at college, so I really recommend. And then Daydream is the 3rd book of the series. This is what it looks like, and I've only started reading this in the last week. I think I've literally got up to page like 56 or something on this one, so I will definitely give a review once I finish reading it. But the ratings for this are really good, so I'll see what the blurb is. So it says, as a chronic procrastinator, Henry Turner always knew his junior year in college wasn't going to be easy. That was before he made ice hockey captain, as well as landing himself a difficult class. Okay, so in this one, I've read a bit of it and I kind of get the gist. So I think what happens is this girl is going to be his tutor. That's like the gist that I'm getting from the book. But yeah, I really do like Hannah Grace as an author. She does really good. I would say it's definitely new adult. I don't believe it's YA. But yeah, if you like a new adult sports romance, because all of her books revolve around sports, so the ice hockey team, it kind of follows the ice hockey team. And I also really recommend her 2nd book as well, which I believe is called Wildfire. I'm pretty sure that is also a really good book, and I'm definitely going to pick it up to add to the collection. Okay, so next up I got a series that if you're chronically online and if you're on TikTok, you've definitely read and you've definitely heard of the author Anna Huang, the Twisted series. So I didn't get the full series because I don't think they had the full series on World of Books, or if they did, I completely missed them. So I picked up Twisted Love, Twisted Lies, and then also Twisted Games. Now Twisted Games is the one that, as you can see, it's come a little bit damaged, so that is the only thing. This is the one book out of 9 that you could tell it was pre-owned, but nothing's damaged pages wise, that you can still read it. So I do still recommend the World of Books, but yeah, you can get the odd one that might not look brand new. But I won't start with Twisted Games because it's not the first one in the series. So this one I didn't actually read first. I read Twisted Games first, and I did actually think that this was the first in the series when I was reading it. Turns out it's not. So the first one is actually Twisted Love. So this one is literally came, it's like brand new. I don't even think this was pre-owned, to be honest with you. This is a really good book. It's not my favourite in the series. I love the author Anna Huang. She is so good. I don't know how she actually gets so many books out. Like, as an author, she is definitely like one of the writers that I look up to, because she seems to get so many books out and they're all really good quality. This I did really like. It's not my favourite in the series, but again, it is the first one of the series, so it might have taken her a bit of time to like really get into it. And the books after this I love way more, but this I would still rate like a good like 4.3, 4.4 stars. So this is Twisted Love, and this follows a girl and a guy, and the guy is her brother's best friend. So you can kind of see where it's going, and I'm pretty sure as well, if I remember Alex's name, I'm pretty sure he's a billionaire in the book. So you can kind of like get the gist of where the book is going. But I can't actually remember what the female lead's name is in this, because I read this honestly years ago. I think this is like one of the first books that I read. Ava, that's it. So it follows Ava Chen, I believe her name is, and then Alex is, well, Alex Volkov. Yeah, Alex Volkov. And it's definitely like a grumpy and sunshine book. So Ava's the sunshine, Alex is the grumpy. It's definitely that kind of vibe. So if you like kind of like enemies to lovers, I guess, brothers, best friend, grumpy sunshine, it's not YA. This is definitely an adult romance. It's got a lot of like spicy scenes in it. I think I would probably rate this like, I don't know, like 5 chili, not 5 chilies, maybe like 3.5, 4. But it is a really good book. Not my favourite in the series, but it is still a really good read. And this one is only 358 pages. So if you're looking for a book to kind of get through in like 24 hours or a couple of days, I definitely do recommend this one. Okay, and then next in the series is Twisted Games. But like I said, I read this one first, fully thinking that it was the first in this series. I think I saw on TikTok at the time this series was really popular, and I think this is the one that just kept popping up, so I just kind of assumed it was the first in the series. But that being said, it's not, but you can actually read it then as a standalone, because I read this honestly years ago now. It was one of my first kind of reads when I was getting into reading, and I read this fully not even being aware that there was a book before. So you definitely can actually read this as a standalone. Now that I've read them all together, probably is best to read them in order, just so then you get like a full grasp on all the extra characters around them, but it's not necessary. So this book is quite different to like what I would normally say that I would read, because it's based on a girl called Bridget and a man called Reese, not a boy, and she's a princess and he's her bodyguard. But it's not a fantasy at all. So it's not, obviously it's fiction, but it's not set in like a fantasy world or anything. So it's not kind of like a Court of Thorn and Roses or anything like that. So when I first read this and realised she was a princess, I was thinking, this is not like my typical read. At that point I hadn't even like got into fantasy books, but it's actually really, really good. I do really recommend this. I would probably rate this like 4.5, maybe even 4.6. It was one of my first reads, so it's quite like nostalgic, and I haven't read this again since I first read it, so I definitely want to do a reread. But it is really good. So it follows a girl called Bridget, and she's a princess, but at the start of the book she's not a princess. She's part of a royal family, but she's just kind of like a normal girl, and then she ends up actually being kind of like initiated as a princess. So yeah, she doesn't start off as a princess, but long story short, something happens in her family. She ends up having to take the role of princess, and Reese is her bodyguard. He was her bodyguard before she was a princess, and then, I don't want to spoil it, but he's involved when she's a princess as well. So yeah, this is a really good book. I do really recommend it. It's not my favourite one in the series. I'd say this is probably my second favourite, but it was my first read in the series. So if you're looking to get into kind of like definitely an adult romance, but a series where it follows all characters, it's got a very strong like found family theme running through it. So if you like that kind of vibe, I definitely do recommend the series in general, but also Twisted Games. Okay, and then the next one is definitely my favourite one in the series. This is actually the last book. I think it's the thickest book. It is, how many pages is this one? I don't remember it being this long. This is 556 pages, so nearly 600 pages. So the one before this is Twisted Hate, which I don't think they had on the World. Actually no, I think they did have it on the World of Books, but I think I forgot to add it to my cart. So Twisted Hate is the third one. Really good book. I do really like that. That's probably like my third favourite, I'd say. This is definitely my first, so you don't have to read all of them. Like I said, you can read them as a standalone. So this one is Twisted Lies, and this one I really liked. It follows a girl called Stella and a man called Christian. In this series there is kind of a big theme of the men being quite successful business wise. So in this one, Christian Harper, I believe his surname is, he's very rich in the book. I think he runs like a security business, and this one is a lot more, the man's quite protective. I think he kills a couple of people, but randomly it works in the book. So Stella is a model in the book, and she's like just a nice girl, like really soft, and then Christian's quite like hard. So it's kind of grumpy sunshine, I guess, to an extent, not as much as the first book, Twisted Love, but this book is really good. There's just so much drama that happens in this book. I mean, you can probably tell by the title, Twisted Lies. So like, big event happens, big falling out happens, but yeah, it's really good, and it does keep you hooked the whole way through. Like I said, I don't even remember this one being nearly 600 pages when I read this. I literally remember reading this. I remember reading this in literally a couple of days, so I do really recommend. Okay, and then the last 4 books that I got are probably one of my favourite series, Elsie Silver. If you've read any Elsie Silver book, she's got so many, but this series, the Chestnut Spring series, I think everyone will probably agree is her best. I love this series. So I got 4 books. I didn't get the last book, but that's actually coming. I've ordered that literally a couple of days ago, so that last one's coming. So I will speak you through the 4 books, because even though they're a series, they can definitely be read as a standalone. And I mean, I love all of these, but I will tell you my ratings and everything of them. Okay, so the first book in the series, I don't know what it is about first books in the series. They're never normally my like highest rated one, so I do still love this. So the first book is Flawless, and again, as you can see from World of Books, this is actually brand new. Like the spine and everything's not cracked on any of these, but this is Flawless, and this is a really good book. I did enjoy it. It's not my favorite, but I would still rate this very high, so I would probably rate this like 4.5, 4.6. So it follows Rhett Eaton, and then it also follows a girl called Summer. So in this one, if you watched my first video, I did touch on the series. So it follows a family of brothers, and they all live on a ranch in Chestnut Springs. So in this one, Rhett is a bull rider, so very country, and then Summer is his agent's slash publicist's daughter. Yeah, his publicist's daughter. So yeah, she gets sent out to the ranch to kind of clean up his image, and this is definitely, I would say, an enemies to lovers trope, not an enemies to lovers where you literally get like halfway through the book and they still hate each other, but it's definitely got a theme of enemies to lovers, because she gets sent out there to clean up his image. Obviously he's not happy that she's been sent out there, and it's just a really good book. The setting and everything is so good, and even like not just the main characters, so Summer and Rhett, it's not even just about like their love story. It's very focused on it, but the characters around them and everything, and the found family in the series as a whole is really good. So yeah, if you're gonna get into the Chestnut Spring series, you can read them all as standalones, to be completely honest with you, but if you did want to do it in order, this would be the first one to start with. Okay, and then the second book is definitely my favorite in this series, and I think anyone that's read this series, it's probably their favorite too. So this is Heartless. So this is the second book in the series, and if you watch my first video that I made, I think it was how to get out of a reading slump, this is the one that I put in there. This is, how many pages long is this one? I think it's like 400 and something. Yeah, 450 pages roughly. I read this in a day. It is so good. So this follows again the same family. So this is Rhett's older brother, and he's a single dad, and then the main character on this one is called Willa, and she becomes the nanny. So again, you can kind of see like where the book's going, but it's so good. The characters, Elsie does a really good job of making the characters like individually distinct. So in this one, the female lead Willa, she honestly is so well written. She's so funny, and a book on her alone would probably keep the reader interested. She's just such a funny character, very free-spirited, very outgoing. And then also Cade, who is the male lead in this one, you see that he's kind of very much in his shell. He's a single dad. So this one as well is a very kind of grumpy sunshine theme running through it, and you see kind of Willa bring him out of his shell and kind of bring him back to life almost, I guess, because he's been quite like down because he's been a single dad. But this is just a really good book if you like the kind of single dad trope, if you like not enemies to lovers, because they're not enemies to start with, but they don't get on to start with. But I wouldn't really say it's enemies to lovers, but it's kind of like a dislike to start with. I definitely do recommend this. So again, very much found family theme throughout this. So in the book, Willa is Summer, so from the last book, Flawless, she's Summer's best friend as well. So there's a very strong found family theme throughout this. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this. If you're not sure about reading the series as a whole and there's one book from the series that you want to read, I would definitely say read this one. I would probably rate this like 4.7, 4.8, maybe even 5 actually, because I'm saying 4.7, 4.8, but I don't actually think there's anything she could have done to make this any better, so I'd actually probably give this one a 5. Okay, and then the next book in the series is called Powerless. So this one again literally looks brand new. This is a really good book. This is probably my third favourite, I would say, out of the whole series. So this one, if you like best friends to lovers, this is definitely that. And again, it's also sports romance because it follows Sloane, who's a ballet dancer, and then Jasper as well, who's an ice hockey player, I believe, or a hockey player. No, hockey player. And they are literally like childhood best friends to lovers in this one, so it's really good. So I said it follows like a line of brothers, and it technically does, but in this one, Jasper is actually kind of like adopted by Cade and Rhett's dad in this one. Parents passed when he was younger, so they grow up together. I think he's like 11 or something when he first comes to the ranch. So it's a best friends to lovers, and in this one, Sloane at the start of the book is getting married to someone else. And that's as much as I'm going to spoil it because I hate spoilers. So you can kind of imagine where it's going. It's a really, really good book. If you like sports romance, this is definitely for you. And yeah, if you like just the trope of best friends to lovers, which I do, I think it's just a really, I hate to say the word, but it is a really cutesy trope, and she's done it in such a good way. And it's not that packed with drama, this book, really. There is like drama in it, but it doesn't really involve the two of them. But somehow Elsie writes it in a way where it's still really interesting. So I definitely recommend this one. And like I said, there's 5 books, I believe, in the series, and this is my third favourite. Okay, and then the 4th book, I think it is, of the series is called Reckless. And this one is my second favourite. So I know I just said about how it follows the line of brothers. So in this one, it actually doesn't. So in this one, the main character, Theo, is actually Rhett. So the guy from the first book, I feel like I'm going to botch this explanation, but Theo is Rhett's kind of like colleague. So he's also a bull writer. And in this one, Winter, the female lead, is Summer. So Summer from the first book, it's Summer's sister. So this is a really good book. And honestly, when I read the blurb for this one, I didn't think I was going to like it, just because Winter's character in the other books is introduced, and she's introduced as a very cold, icy, I think she's literally called like the Ice Princess in the book. Theo we don't really see much of in the other books, so I was a bit skeptical, but this is honestly very, very close to Heartless as my top, but I would say it's probably my second top. So in this one, it's Grumpy Sunshine, but where the male lead is normally the grumpy, the female lead actually is. So in this one, Theo is literally obsessed with Winter. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away, like the trope in this, because it will just be such a big spoiler, but there's a big plot twist very close to the start of the book, and that plot twist brings the characters together. I don't want to spoil it because I hate spoilers, but all I would say is I definitely recommend this if you like your like not necessarily typical plot, if you like almost enemies to lovers in a way, not extreme enemies to lovers, but they definitely start off, she starts off not liking him. So yeah, I would just definitely recommend it. If you like found family, if you like the thought of bull riders, ranches, there's a lot of drama in this book. I can't really say without spoiling it, but I really recommend this. And if you like Elsie Silver books and you haven't read the Chestnut Springs series, or if you've read it and you've not read all of them, I definitely recommend giving this one a go. It's very close to top. But that is the last of the 9 books that I've got. So obviously, as you've seen, I've got so many books, and like I said, I got them all for about £30. So I definitely recommend World of Books, and I'll definitely be doing another order probably today, to be honest with you, because if you watched my last video, I've got a whole bookshelf that I want to fill, and I want to fill it with books that I've read before and that I've loved. So the only one out of these that I hadn't read before is The Daydream by Hannah Grace, but I do like buying books that I've actually read before, just because then in my collection I know that they're filled with books I really do love. So I definitely recommend any of these books that I've just shown you, and I will definitely be back as well, probably in a couple weeks time, with another haul. But if you do like these kinds of videos, if you could give it a like, and if you could also subscribe as well. And next week I'll be doing another video, so if you're not someone that's watched my channel before, I do weekly videos all kind of centered around books. So I think next week I'm going to kind of delve into the mafia romance side, because I've shown a lot of new adult, young adult, and just general quite cute romances. I've not really touched really on mafia romance books, which I've read honestly so many. So I think next week's video will probably be my recommendations on what the best kind of mafia series are. But if you liked today's video, please give it a like and a subscribe.